grey horse. In Spiral at this stage posted a little wide, red, white and blue, and a little keen, and anchored towards the back is Facteur Cheval. So Paddington is going to try and lead this out, and has the advantage by over a length from Charin in second, in Spiral, who settles in third place. Aldari is in fourth as they climb the hill, and Facteur Cheval last of all, and round about 5 lengths off Paddington, who has the lead and is currently making the climb towards the final 5.5 furlongs. Paddington out in front. Charin in second place, in Spiral disputing second on the outside. In fourth place is Aldari and Facteur Cheval, and Paddington has just been able to steady the pace down as he makes his way across towards the intersection. And how quickly will Ryan Moore head over towards this near side rail, which has seemed an advantage this afternoon. In Spiral is making a move and just slipping up on the outside to try and avoid Ryan getting that rail. So Frankie Dettori has invested a bit in trying to make this near side rail first, pushing in Spiral up to press Paddington, who still has the lead but will not get to the fence. Charin comes next, Facteur Cheval in the pink colours, and then Aldari, and that's resulted in the two of them head for head quite a long way out here. Paddington in the blue and orange, then in the red, white and blue in Spiral. Facteur Cheval trying to muscle out the French trader, and then Charin. Paddington has fought off in Spiral, but a new challenge looms. Facteur Cheval for France is going to push Paddington all the way. Paddington's now got the rail. Facteur Cheval out in the centre of the course, can't get by. Paddington is seeing it out strongly, turns away another quality horse. The unbeaten run continues this season and wins the Cat of Sussex. In second place, Facteur Cheval, who pushed him all the way. In third was Charin, in fourth place Aldari, and that move backfired for Inspiral, who played a hand too early. Paddington couldn't make the rail initially, but it didn't matter. His running win continues. Maybe the Juddmonte and the Irish champion will be the next stop on the runaway train that's Paddington, who wins the Cat of Sussex Stakes.
Oh, and it's now the perfect 6 out of 6 this season. What remarkable progress. Look, he's even so good he can go backwards. From that Nace handicap only 129 days ago, he's done what the Iron Horse Giant Causeway couldn't do. He won the Irish 2000 Guineas. He won the St James's Palace, the Eclipse, and now a Sussex Stakes, the modern day Iron Horse. But Megan, he had to work.
He did, but he is just so talented. You know, he's ground versatile. We've seen that he's trip versatile now as well. I thought Ryan Moore was brilliant on board. I know it's easy to say when it's a winning ride, but he didn't panic or push any buttons when Frankie came upside him to nab that rail. He was going through the motions. Paddington was strong to the line, and he's just so talented. We're very lucky to see him.
I'd argue that he was better today with that rail to run against. There was no the head seemed to be a little bit lower than I have seen it previously, so that could mean that he's still on an upward trajectory.
And I imagine Ryan probably didn't really want to lead in an ideal world. He would have preferred something to take him into the race, but he looked at it on paper and went, there's not much tempo here, so I'll jump, I'll be positive. Everyone else seemed to want to sit in second. Frankie made that move trying to get that rail up in the straight. He used up a lot of petrol to get there on Inspiral, didn't he? Paddington just was able to pull out more. The French horse ran really well. Facteur Cheval, he was brilliant in second, but he just keeps delivering, Paddington.
And you hope now that Aidan will do exactly what he did with Giant's Causeway and now eye up the Juddmonte International at York, because this horse's constitution, Jason, is quite something.
Yeah, the ability to go from the front, he's managed to drop in the early stages of his career when he won a listed race back home in Ireland, and that started that run that he's gone on at the moment up through the grades. He's remarkable.
He really is. Led up there by Michael Webster. Adrian Maguire, remember Adrian, the top jockey, rides this horse out each day. Pat Keating on the left, and you just know the esteem he's held in, Ollie, by Ryan Moore.
Yes, it's no surprise really. This horse is turning out to be a real superstar. Ryan, that was fascinating tactically. Can you just talk us through what you were thinking when Frankie sort of pressed up on your inside?
Thinking this is far too early to be racing. We didn't want to be making the running really, but no one was going to go. Obviously, was going very steady early, and I was thinking I should just get it all my own way and get to the fence and then go away. Frankie rightfully maybe work a bit for it. You see where Inspire ended up finishing because of that.
Yeah.
You know, she's falling out behind them all. And he fought them off, fought her off, and then he had a bit of a target on his back the last furlong. When I asked him, he wouldn't have found a bit more from me. He just thrives with his racing.
It just seems that every time someone throws something at him, he just answers it with real guts and sort of class.
Yeah, he just loves it. He just loves the sport and loves his job. And it doesn't matter if it's quick ground, soft ground, heavy ground, 10, 8. You know, he's a very, very unique horse. And some people say he's took us by surprise, and I'm sure he hasn't. You know,
really.
He's always, all this year, he's shown himself to be a very good horse and worked well.
I know the sentiment isn't at the top of your sort of priority list, Ryan, but there was a lovely moment after Sandown where some young racing fans were giving him a huge cheer, and he's really connecting with people, this horse.
Yeah, that's the name I expected. But look, regardless of that, he is a very unique horse because, he's fried, loves his racing, and he can kind of cope with most things, really.
Yeah. He's an amazing horse. Another terrific ride, Ryan. Well done.
And he's right, Ryan, on so many levels then. I sense he loves this horse and really enjoyed that. And all the kids around the racecourse having photos with Paddington the bear. All helps. And he's just a really good horse. Aidan O'Brien wins the Sussex Stakes for a 6th time. Ryan won it on the Gurkha, a 2nd for him, another for the owners. Messrs Tabor, Smith, Magna, Van Opel and Peter Brandt as well, enjoying it. Good to see him here, leading in the winner of the Qatar Sussex Stakes. It's another Group 1 for Paddington. Wasn't that interesting as well, Jason? When Ryan talked about that move from Frankie Dettori, said it was far too early to get racing. You could see what Frankie was trying to do, but that can't have helped Inspiral's chance.
It's not so much help as well. He's in a no-win situation. You have to go and attack, otherwise he's not going to get the rail, and you come back and you find yourself in a pocket. But obviously Ryan had enough horse to be able to just keep rolling through there. He's drafted him up to the quarter-mile pole and then has asked him for effort, and he's got the fence as well. So he's got all the gears, hasn't he? All the answers, all the ground conditions. He seems straightforward. You saw him walking around the paddock. He cantered the post. He's very tractable, isn't he? That's key.
And this weather's a little bit like, 2017 when Ribchester was beaten by Here Comes When, and Ribchester's son, as you said, Facteur Cheval, that was well worth the trip. Big race in 2nd.
Very much so. I had an interview with his trainer and he said this horse is just improving all the time. He's a 4-year-old, but I don't think they've really reached the ceiling with him. He was a Group 3 winner on heavy ground back in France, so the conditions would have been really up his street. I think he was a little bit short of room at one stage. He was trying to get through a couple of horses. He hung right a little bit in the closing stages, which wouldn't have helped, but I think the effort involved trying to get past Paddington would have really tested any horse. But he's going to be a great addition to the stallion roster, isn't he? He was actually not a homebred. He was bought from France, 420,000 euros he cost, bred by Aramonceau, who've bred a lot of really good horses, but the son of Siuni will be a very welcome addition.
Okay, all the reaction to come. Let's hope they're heading to York and the Juddmonte International after 4 straight Group 1s. The 13th horse to do the St James's Palace Sussex Stakes double. The progressive, the really good Paddington.
Sire handles the ground, so I'm confident he'll act on it too.
Worthy favourite Matt?
If he learns to settle, he's the nap for me.
This Goodwood Festival, don't feel like a punter, feel like a favourite. Get great offers for Goodwood on the Paddy Power app. Paddy Power.
There's something I've been meaning to say to you.
Lie to you.
And that thing is... Haddock.